Florida homeowners, it's not a question of if, but when the next hurricane will come. No matter what Florida weather has in store, StormSmart has products that protect every opening of your home while improving the look, feel, and function. From durable aluminum shutters, high-impact windows and doors, to our innovative storm catcher screens, products that enhance the beauty of your home and keep your family safe. Because smart is complete hurricane protection, and smart is peace of mind. Call StormSmart today for your free in-home consultation.
When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with the Generac Home Standby Generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by StormSmart. Protect every opening of your home. And Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
I always get a kick out of that opening. Streaming from Studio A. I had no idea this was Studio A. I mean, I know we got another studio over there, but this is Studio A, apparently. How you doing? Tampa Bay 28 Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips here, and welcome to Dennis Phillips Live. Couple of things right off the bat. We are on the spot. I did not think we were because the Bolts are playing, and last I checked, they were actually down 1-0 to the Blackhawks. But that game, I think, is on Hulu. So we are right now live on the spot. So if you get better signal on TV, if you want to watch on TV and follow along on social media, that's always the way I suggest doing it because it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get to see the pictures better, but you can also follow along all the drama and nonsense that goes on in the conversations as well as the questions, because I know you all have questions. And, you know, we've got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, obviously, is going to be Melissa. And then second of all, we're going to talk about our cold front that's going to make it into our area later Thursday into Friday. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of dragging today. I don't know. I got a toothache. I haven't been sleeping real well. You can see everybody's like, oh, Dennis, you look tired. It's because of hurricane season. No, it isn't. I mean, be honest, we've had a pretty quiet hurricane season, and this storm will also miss the Gulf. So, I mean, is it possible that we're going to make it through the entire season in the Gulf without a threat? Certainly looks that way. I mean, I think I said weeks ago, I would be, what was the word I used? Can't remember. But not befuddled, but I would have been shocked. And you guys, somebody will know the answer. I would be shocked if we made it through a hurricane season without a hurricane in the Caribbean. Well, it's not going to happen because Melissa is going to be a storm, but there is still flabbergasted. That's the word. I would have been flabbergasted if we didn't have anything in the Caribbean. I'll tell you, the models are still split on where this thing is going to go, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But the GFS has not backed down from its northerly track. There's a couple of other models that are showing the same thing, but yet the Hurricane Center is still all in on the track around Jamaica. Let's go ahead and do some hellos. So how you doing, the city of Winter Haven, who I have a feeling is certainly friends with the city of Lakeland. Both are satirical sites on social, and they both make me laugh. They're very funny. Let's do some quick hellos as I'm scrolling through here there is a look again at Melissa. Winds at 45 miles an hour. So we have got Ryan and Port Richey's in the house. Young Lady Patriot. Kathleen, how you doing? Nice to see you. We've got Tarpon Springs in the house. Leanne from Maine is checking in right now. Stephen in Clearwater. Janelle in Tarpon Springs. St. Augustine checking in. Thank you for the best weather reporting in the state. Appreciate it, Ann. Very kind. Alicia, nice to see you. Pinellas is in the house with, I don't even know what the name is. I give up. Clearwater with Elise. We've got Prudy. Nice to see you, Prudy. Say hi to your lovely daughter as well. Inverness in the house with Kat. Cindy from Venice, Homosassa, Karen, Debbie in Riverview. The list goes on and on. Teresa in Bradenton. Freeze warning in North Carolina tonight, so says Jim. We've got Spring Hills in the house. We've got Maria in St. Pete. So 20th anniversary, Ellen is saying in the Turks and Caicos by November 4th. Will you be in bad shape? I think you're going to be okay. I think you're actually going to be okay. Bow before the Baron of Barometers, so says the city of Winter Haven. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in, all right? So here is a look at the satellite. Now, you've heard me say this many, many times, and this picture kind of shows it as well. So you guys know the old carnival game, the whack-a-mole game, right? Where you've got that little whack-a-mole guy who comes up and moves around. I sometimes describe a developing tropical system as a whack-a-mole game. Now, why is that significant? Because the center of circulation with this storm is still very ragged. And it is possible that a new center will go from here to here, like in whack-a-mole, right? And if that center does relocate, reforms, and becomes the main center of circulation, then you could have a drastic change in the track of this storm. Because if the center is originally supposed to be, we'll use the band button as an example, supposed to be there, but it ends up going over here, well, that's going to change the track of the storm. And I say that because some of the models are showing that. And it is conceivable. The Hurricane Center even says that that is possible, that could happen. So it is one of the many things that we are concerned about. Cindy says, guess our cruise on Monday will have a surprise itinerary. I actually think that is exactly, that's a good way to look at it. That is a good way to look at it. So there is a disorganized system, but moving north at 2, all right? So it's practically stationary. But it is by no means an organized system, which is why this circle is so massive. Because potentially it could go in a lot of places, right? But ultimately, the Hurricane Center's latest track, and this is updated every 6 hours. Yeah, Ryan, I mean, the GFS could be right. Ryan just said the GFS could be right. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. At this point, no cards are off the table. Everything is a possibility, really. This is the official NHC track, bringing it Cat 4, and easily, if this stays south of Jamaica, could become Cat 5. And if this track verifies, this is a devastating track for Jamaica. And if you look at, this is one of the future casts that I was telling you about. Now, this is our in-house model. It is not designed necessarily for tropical systems, but I want to show you. I'm showing you this because this kind of shows you what I'm talking about. Look at look at Jamaica right here. Look at what this model does. Look, watch it. This model never turns west, just like the GFS, and brings it into Haiti and the Dominican. And that is Saturday. So that is exactly what the GFS has been saying and will not let go of. So this is Friday morning. Now, this is not the official track. This is just a model, but I show you this because the NHC themselves say this is a low confidence forecast with this track because the center is so ragged. And if a new center develops, all bets are off. But that's Friday evening. Now, it appears obvious by this time tomorrow there will be a center. This will become a hurricane. And then at that point, we're going to know if Jamaica is spared. So it's really, really tricky because when you look at the spaghetti models, and here they are, you've got the majority go west. See that? The majority go west. The Euro, the H-Wharf. But there are a few, another one of the H-Wharfs that go north. See that? So if I sound like I'm hedging, that is not my intention. My intention is not hedging. I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, and especially for folks in Jamaica, because if the NHC track verifies it is an absolutely devastating storm for Jamaica, one that it will take a long time to recover from. If the NHC track is accurate, and we're going to look at ensembles and models after the next break, if the NHC forecast is accurate, they will have Cat 5 winds, gusts. They'll have probably 30 inches of rain. There will be mudslides. There will be landslides. There will be devastation in Jamaica. And that's why what I said earlier still goes true. Look, why take a chance? If you're in Jamaica and you're thinking, I'm going to ride it out because it might go east, you might be right. But is it worth betting your life on? And that sounds dramatic, and you guys know me. I don't go for the whole drama setup when it comes to weather. I really don't. I just kind of call them like I see them. But why take the chance? And not to mention, that also puts a higher risk for Haiti and the Dominican. If you're in Haiti or the Dominican, or you're thinking of going Punta Cana, I had a guy yesterday say he has a wedding planned on Sunday. You know, this track that the NHC has over Jamaica would be much lower issues for the Dominican and Haiti. Eventually, middle of next week, it would hit it. But this track that the H-Wharf and that the GFS is showing would barrel into that as a hurricane on Saturday. So I hate to say we don't have a definitive answer, but we don't have a definitive answer. So you got to look at both scenarios and you got to weigh your odds. Look, most of us, 99% of the folks right here watching, aren't in that area or going to that area. But there are a few that are. I know there are. So when we come back, we'll look at the updated models, we'll look at the new NHC numbers, and we'll talk about that cold front that's coming in as DPL continues. Okay, so thank you for the break. All right, so let's, we are on channel 17 right now on Spectrum. We are on channel 23 on Frontier. The Bolts game is on Hulu, and we are on TV as well as streaming. So what do we got here? So here, we'll go. I mean, Ryan, look, you're like, the GFS must know something. Guys, let's be honest. When it is mano a mano, model versus model, the overwhelming majority of the time, the Euro has been right. Not always. Not always. Sometimes the GFS is right. But it can't say that it isn't, that it sees something. I mean, yes, it sees a weakness in the ridge that will allow the storm to go north, whereas the Euro and most of the hurricane models and the NHC believe that ridge rebuilds and forces it to the west. It's that simple, really. If the ridge is there, that thing's going west and stalling out. If the ridge isn't there, it's going to go north. Pretty simple in terms of theory. Very difficult, obviously, when it comes to reality. All right, we are back in 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. Let's go ahead and jump right into some of the models. And since we got a lot of folks who need to know what's going to happen. All right, we were talking in the break about the GFS versus the Euro. The Euro is predicting, and I'm going to show you this, and this is a great way to look at it. First of all, I'm now able to show you operational runs because, look, we are 3 days out, 2 days out potentially if the GFS is. So we're going to show you model versus model, mano a mano. This is tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. This is the GFS. The GFS is sensing a weakness in the ridge, and it brings this storm north. The Euro is showing a strength in the ridge. It stays stuck down there, and it can't move for 3 days. It's really that simple. Not a simple forecast, but that's what it is. Here's the GFS tomorrow morning. GFS 8 o'clock tomorrow night. GFS Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. It is moving north. Look at Jamaica. Look at where Jamaica is, right here. Nowhere near Jamaica. That's what's really crazy about this forecast, is if the GFS is right, Jamaica's going to get nothing out of this. You have a